Hi, it's John here from See You on the Start Line podcast. I'm the event coordinator and race director at CJM'S events. Talking today, our own personal roller coaster, Christmas sale, Aotearoa Ultra, wine run, and new naming rights sponsor for the South Island Half Marathon in August. Well, for us here at CJM'S events, it's felt like a bit of a roller coaster over the last 4 weeks with highs and lows all the way through this period. The roller coaster probably started a bit earlier than that. Actually, it's probably more like 6 weeks when the first low was having to cancel Ride the Rakaia with the weather bomb that hit the South Island, and we couldn't stage the event due to the weather conditions, especially that day up during the Rakaia Gorge. Then we had Carol's mother get ill, and she was in and out of hospital during that time. And we had Ride the Wilderness with heaps of challenges. Colour Zone run the following week, which clicked along really, really great. Then 3 days later, before Bridge to Bridge, Carol's mother passed away. Then there was heaps of prep work that we had to sort out for the new sponsor coming on board, and they dropped that some of their sponsor that sponsor's product in to us on the Wednesday before the Canterbury Half Marathon. But before the Canterbury Half Marathon, we had a liquor licensing hearing for wine run. So then it was straight into the Canterbury Half Marathon setup. For that, we had strong winds predicted. Some of them came through, and again, it was an event which had heaps of moving parts, and it was really moving with the way the wind was blowing. Then we had the fantastic run by Caden Shields, running the great time of 66 minutes and 23 seconds for the half marathon, and that reaffirmed what we believed was a really fast course. Then the pack out, and while we still have a bit of unpacking to go and heaps of rubbish to go to the dump, it's Christmas time to look forward to, but there's a lot of work happening between now and Christmas. But those highs and lows felt like things were going really great, and then all of a sudden something would happen, and there'd be challenges here, there, and everywhere. A lot of stuff, a lot of personal minds sort of spinning here, there, and everywhere. But to be fair, for those last 4 to 6 weeks, has been a pretty tough period to get through, but we are there. But the really cool thing that you see when you're holding these events is like the Canterbury Half Marathon, the kids dash, the faces of those kids are priceless as they cross the line, and even at the start, they're all set on the start line, ready to click their watches to start to get their times. It is really, really cool to watch. If you haven't checked out the photos yet on the Canterbury Half Marathon, you can go to the front page of the website and click on the website being canterburyhalfmarathon.co.nz. The results are there and the photos, so just click on those. We do have some t-shirts, still have some white t-shirts and red t-shirts available. There were a few sizes that people changed later on in the day, so if you did inquire beforehand about a t-shirt and you are interested, it would pay to give Carol an email. So text her, just send her an email at carol@cjmsevents.co.nz, and she'll be back in touch with you with what sizing that you have. If you just ask if there's a size available that you're after, she'll confirm that to you. Well, we have a Christmas sale going to come up very shortly, but it's going to be a wee bit different. We've had some fun with Christmas over the last few years with having different sales, and we're going to do things for t-shirts, event entries, and other merchandise as well. This will all start on Friday, and we're going to do it like a live shopping, sort of a bit like live shopping. How we're going to do this is we're going to go live on our CJM's Events Facebook page at certain times of the day. We'll announce when these times are, and we'll go live. Let everyone know what the items that are in our Christmas sale for that day. The Christmas sale will be run for a couple of hours, so we might go live at, say, what's the time now? It's 1 o'clock, coming up 1 o'clock on Wednesday. So we might say between 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock today, there is a sale for XYZ at 50% off, and then this is the code to use. So you'll then go to the website and use that code to purchase it. This could be entries, it could be t-shirts, it could be other merchandise. At the end of that period, the sale and that cuts off, and then we'll go to the next day and we'll do something else. So it's a wee bit like 12 days of Christmas with limited period of shopping for you to be able to get those sales. So there'll be entries. We'll make them up as we go and create them. I couldn't tell you what they are, whether they're going to be entries into events or they're going to be t-shirts or whatever, but we'll have to show exactly what they are for you. So there could be a number of items each day. There might only be one item on a certain day. So it's one of those things you want to jump in and grab the offer when they're there. So we thought we'd do this as a wee bit different and see how it goes. If you don't like it, it's up to you. Right, then we have, after the sale, our first event in 2025 is going to be the Aotearoa Ultra Marathon. Now, entries for this close midnight on Christmas Day. So if you're sitting around on Christmas Day and you're thinking, I am going to do an ultra marathon in 2025, that's the one to go for. So you're going to have three choices. It is an awesome event. You've got the 101k. It's 4,055 metres of elevation. It starts at Little River, and then you go over to Port Levy, over the next hills to Pigeon Bay. Pigeon Bay, you go up to the Summit Road. Again, then you get a good view, look out over Akaroa, and then you come back down to Pigeon Bay. When you get to Pigeon Bay, that is where the 53k would have started, and if you're doing 101k, you've still got 2,278 metres of elevation, and that's the elevation 53 kilometre runners have as well. So from Pigeon Bay, it then goes over to Port Levy, then goes back up to the Port Levy Spur at the top of the pass there, up Western Valley Road, and then you cross over Mount Herbert. So you come across Mount Herbert and you get to Gibby's Pass. When you get to Gibby's Pass, that will be where the 15k would have started, and that's 484 metres of elevation still to go when you get to Gibby's Pass. So Gibby's Pass, you then come up the Summit Road from Gibby's Pass, known to the cyclists as the Bastard, because it just keeps on going and going and going. You run on the road. It's not run on any other trails and that. It's actually run on the road. There's a lot of them are running later at night, and it's a lot safer to be on the asphalt at that stage of the evening when they're running there. All the runs finish at Horseville Quarry, and to enter the events you go to aotearoa.co.nz. So an idea of how long it takes. The 101k, the record is now 12 hours 55 minutes, and that was set by Stu Highway last year. The record previously was 13 hours and a couple of minutes. That was set on the inaugural year back in 2021. And in 2021, the 53k record was set by Greg Basson. He ran it in 5 hours and 1 minute. At that time, we weren't sure if it was a good time or not. It was a fantastic time, because in other years, people have struggled to break 6 hours and 7 hours actually for the 53k. The 15k is also a great run. As I say, it goes up the Summit Road and then down into Horseville Quarry. The record for this is 1 hour and 7 minutes. Generally, the first time, or historically, has been around the 1 hour 20 mark for that, but James Miller last year ran 1:07, 1 hour and 7 minutes. So the records that are held there are from James Miller, 1:07 for 15, Greg Basson for the 53 or 5 hours 1, and Stu Highway at 12 hours 55 minutes, the only runner to go under 13 hours for 101k. In comparison, the record for the South Island Half Marathon, which is 100k's, is 7 hours 44. So tells the difference about the elevation between those two events. Then next up, after the Aotearoa Ultra Marathon, is what's described as the best run ever. This is Wine Run. To be fair, we had a big experience last week. That was the hearing of the Selwyn District Licensing Committee for our license for wine run. This is a process that must be respected, as a liquor license isn't given to anyone of right. We had both the Ministry of Health and New Zealand Police having objections to us having the license for wine run. After 3 hours of evidence and discussion, all sorts of stuff, a decision was made, and that was for the event to continue, but with a couple of smaller changes around the event. These are the 2025 event, that the run, which people also walk, will only be 5k, not 10k. So therefore, it reduces the amount of wine that could potentially be drunk while participants are running in the heat. The run will start basically about half an hour later, and it will potentially be a little bit cooler at that time of the day as well. We've had amended the website accordingly, basing the run walk to start at 4:30, not 4 o'clock, and the after party will still have the same live entertainment, bar and food trucks, free water and electrolytes throughout the evening, and buses to and from Rosendale Wines for the event, and we're still allowed to have our best dress competition. If you haven't registered for this fantastic event, go to winerun.co.nz. It is truly the best run ever. It's just an incredible day out. Everyone has so much fun. Some of the stats from historic events of Wine Run. The average age is 42 years of age. 90% of females participants. 60% used to only do the run or walk 5Ks anyway, so the 5K, altering the event back down to 5K, doesn't have a big impact at all, and only about 5% of participants actually ran. Everyone else sort of walks, strolls, has a good time. They might break into a jog here, there or everywhere, but it's just a good old time, a great afternoon. So as I say, this is a fantastic afternoon, evening, where you can dress up, have some fun, and have some wine tastings, running, walking through a vineyard, followed by relaxing with wine, food and live entertainment. Heaps of people come through from throughout the country to meet up with old friends, and it's great for workmates and just mates to get out and have a great time. So don't miss that. Go to winerun.co.nz for the 18th of January. Naming rights sponsor. Yes, we have a new naming rights sponsor, or we have a naming rights sponsor for the South Island Half Marathon. We're pleased to announce that the South Island Half Marathon at Lake Hood will be known as the Spa World South Island Half Marathon on Sunday the 3rd of August. They're celebrating, that is, Spa World is celebrating with a special offer for all participants, listeners of this podcast and our newsletter, and everybody who's participating in the event. You can go into Spa World and use the code SI-RUN to Spa World, that's run and the number 2, Spa World, and you'll receive $1,000 off the recommended retail price on any spa or swim spa purchased within 30 days of the Spa World South Island Half Marathon. So that's an offer that's going to run all the way through to the 31st of August. Naturally, there are a few T's and C's. These will be explained to you in store on those details. But basically, don't hesitate. These are fantastic pools and spas, so you want to enjoy them. It's a great what you do. It's pretty cool to have something like a spa or a swim spa for a Christmas present or a Christmas sale as well. What events? Sorry, I've lost my spot there. Where are we? Basically, looking at what's there for the Christmas sale. What events are you going to shout yourself for at Christmas with our sales that we're going to have, or it might be t-shirts or cycling tops, anything along those lines. So make sure you're listening out to our Christmas sale. If you see that CJM'S Events is going live, make sure you're there to have a look at it. And remember, when entering any of our events, we recommend that you purchase the withdrawal insurance and grab yourself a memorabilia t-shirt or whatever event that you're doing. These are just $39.95. So sign up, promote our events, You can raise funds for your sports club, scouts, school, or even yourself or any other group. And remember, all the key dates of early bird entries and events closing are at CJM'S.co.nz. So if you need to get in touch with me, contact me at john@CJM'S.co.nz. Text or call me on 027 226 7769. Until next time, we'll see you on the start line and look out for those Christmas sales.